Hi everyone, in this video we are going to cover everything about Excel dates. These are some of the created dates when some incident was created, and I want to see that what is the minimum date in this range and what is the maximum date in this range. For minimum date I can just use the function min, give it a range. So this is the minimum date, 1st January 2021, and for maximum I can apply this function max. So the maximum date is 30th December 2024. So next is find correct time, duration, summary, etc. So this is my start date, this is my end date. I want to see what is the duration between this time, start and end time. So I can use this function is equal to this minus this. So it will give you 11 hours 30 minutes, the duration between two times. If you take it from top to the bottom, you'll be getting these values. And if I have to sum these durations, you will see that the after 24 hours, it is rounding itself. So in order to rectify this issue, how to find correct time during summation? So what instead of formatting it as HHMM, hour and minutes, put the hour part in rectangle braces. So put it like this, format cells, go to custom here, put hour part, HOUR, hour part in these rectangle braces. So now these things will sum up to 30 hour 45 minutes. Days in month. Suppose this is a date. I want to find how many days in a month are there. So first I'll find the end of month is equal to eomonth. Start date is this because we want to find days of current month only. So put it as this. So it shows that our if we format it as date like this, it says 20th February. So the last day of this month will be 20th February 2025. And if you wrap it inside day function, it will give you the last day of month. Now just format it as general. So it will give you 28 days in month. So formula is day EU month B23, 0. So next is how do we find date of birth using date diff formula. So let's go to this sheet. These are the occasions like this is date of birth, this is date of joining. Suppose date of birth is 12th February 1976, date of joining is 6 March 2007. I want to see till today how many years have elapsed from this date. So I'll use this function. Okay, in this function, the syntax is dateDif, first date, comma second date, comma interval. Interval is if you just want to see how many days, then we can use this interval. D for days, M for months, Y for years. And if you want YM means number months in year. This is MD means number of days in month, and this is YD, number of days in year. So this is how the arguments for interval will be populated to find for number of years between this date and current date. Current date is 24th February 2025. So I use this formula is equal to date diff dateDif, then give it this value, comma, today's value is today, close, then put the interval because we want to find years between the dates. So put it as double quotes Y. So 49 years. And if we have to find how many months have elapsed in this 49th month, 49th year, we can simply copy this same formula. And here instead of year, you have to mention YM. And YM, fine. And here if you want to see, if you want to see number of days, then we have to use MD. Similarly, if you drag this formula from top to the bottom, you'll get the figures 17 years, 11 months, and 18 days have elapsed from this date, 6 March 2007. So, next is how to extract date and time. So, for this, let's see one trick. Suppose this is my number, and if I divide this number by n divisor, suppose 2, then I need to find what is the remainder. So I'll be using this function mod, mod. This is a number, comma, this is the divisor. So the remainder is this. So we come to know that when we get the remainder of a number which is uh, in fractions like 5.2, then we get the fraction part of that number as a remainder. So here also the same theory applies. Suppose this is time value like mmDDYY and hour colon So I just want to see what is the date part of these numbers. So what I can do is I can simply use this function int for integer part of this date, and in order to find the uh, time part from this date, I can use this function is equal to mod divide the date with 1, then you will be getting the time part. So it is 15th January 2021. So date wise is 15 January 2021. Here in the datetime value, you see the time as 8 hour 30 minutes. So here also in the time part, you will be getting the same number. So this is how calculations happen. And here also we have to format this date as mmDDYYY. And here I have to format the time as hour colon minute colon second AM slash PM. So let me show you one more thing. If I have to show you how date time values are stored in Excel, they are not actually stored like this. They are stored like a number. Let me show you that. If you select those cells, format cells, go to general, then you will see that this date is containing time also as well as the date and time both. So the first part before decimal is our date part. The part which is after dot in the first value dot 35417. This is the part which gives you time. So a date is composed of both the values, date and time, and it is stored as a number. So next we are going to talk about date value. So sometimes when we import the data from mainframe computers, then it is imported as a text and we can't do some of the calculations. So in this scenario, we can use this function date value is equal to date value. So here you give the text, you will be able to see the date value results. So what does this function do? The function is used to convert a piece of text into a date which can be used in calculations. Dates expressed as a text are often created when data is imported from other programs such as exports from mainframe computers. So the syntax is date value, then you give it the date text, and formatting the results will normally be shown as a number which, so here it's shown as a number which represents a date. This number can be formatted to any of the normal date formats by using format cells, number, and then date. So here we can use this any of these ranges, any of the formats. So the the below example shows the date function and today function being used to calculate the age of incident. So here I have Uh, this is my incident. This was created on this date. So the data is in text format. You can see at the starting, apostrophe has been placed to put it as a text. So I'm using this function today minus date value of this function, date value of this created function, created date. So it will give you the number of days of this incident when it was created. Similar to date value, time value is also used. Here also if the time is in text format, which is generally the case when we import the data from mainframe computers, then this time value can be used to convert this text into time. So here also you can use the function time value, select this text. So here also you can, so here also if you see that this function is will show an actual time based on the piece of text which looks like a time. It is useful when data is imported from other applications such as from mainframe computers which convert all values through text. So this is the syntax time value, then the text argument of the time. Formatting that result will be shown as a number. So here it is showing shown as a number. It is representing the time as a fraction of the day. Formatting can be applied for either the 12 or 24-hour clock system. So next is network days. So suppose this is the date, start date, this is the end date. I want to see how many number of working days are between this, excluding Saturdays and Sundays. So I can use this function is equal to network days, and here you give it the start date, comma, end date. Here I'm not, this holidays argument is optional. That is why it is placed into uh, rectangular braces. So just press enter. So it will give you that between these two dates, the number of working days is 5. Drag it from top to the bottom. So this shows the number of working days between these two dates. So here it is, this function will calculate the number of working days between the two dates. It will exclude weekends and any holidays. Suppose this is my list of holidays like bank holiday, Christmas, New Year, etc. I want to exclude these holidays also from this start and end dates. So for that, what I will do is simply use the network days formula. This is my start date, comma, this is my end date. And in order to give it a list of holidays, you select that range, make it constant by pressing F4 key. So now you'll be getting the work days which also exclude those holidays. So the following examples shows how a list of holidays can be created. This is how we can create it. Holiday list is created, and this can be used over here, which was actually the optional argument in this network days function. Next is eomonth, end of month. So eomonth stands for end of month. So this function will show the last day of the month, which is a specified number of months before or after a given date. So if you give means number of months after this date, then you it will be plus number of months, and if you want number of years before number of months before current date, then it should be minus number of months. So here I want to see that what was the end of month. Suppose I want to see what was the last day of current what was the last day of this month, which was of January 1998. So I'll use EO month. EO means end of month. Here you give it this date, then you give I want 0. 0 means 0 months before or after. That means in the same month I want. You see, the last day of this was 31st January 1998. And if I want, I can make this as argument. If I want to add plus 2 months, so will become February, then March. So March, if you add 2 more months in this date, start date, and then you want to find the end of end date, then you can do that also. So it will give you 31st March, and if you subtract minus 2 months, then it will be 30th November 1997. So next is edate. So edate is a function which gives the elapsed date. So the syntax is edate start date comma months, number of months you provide here as positive or negative values. So the edate function is in Excel returns a date on the same day of month n months before or after a given date. Use edate to calculate maturity dates or due dates that fall on the same day of the month as date of issue. Suppose I have some installment which is on 5th January. I want to see what will be the next installment date on the same date. So to calculate for the next due date or next installment date from this date, we can use this function. It stands for elapsed date. So here you use this function edate same date, comma after 3 months what will be this date. So you see 22nd date of November will become 22nd February if we add 3 more months in this. And here also if you drag it from top to the bottom, this is adding plus 3, this is also adding plus 3, this is previous, it is subtracting minus 3 months from current date. So formatting, okay, now we know this thing. So this example is the one where we can see this example was used by company hiring contact staff. The company needed to know the end date of the employment. The start date is entered here. The contract duration is entered as months. So this is the contract duration. The edate function has been used to calculate the end of contract. So the contract will end on from this start date. This is the number of months, and I want to find the last contract end of contract date. So I'll use edate this comma this. So on this date, you format it as TTD and this as DDMMYYY format. Then it will also give you the date, day and date both. So this is how our edate function works. Next is day. Day function is used to get the day number of month as well as the day of week. So suppose this is 25th December 1998. So this will give you 25th because it will be the 25th day of December month. So I'll use day function like this. If the format is general, then it will give you the number a day. And similarly, if you drag it from top to the bottom, it will this formula can also give you the day also, not only this number. Just right click, format cells, go to custom, type there DDD/D. So it shows 24th is the day number of this month and it will fall on Tuesday. So this function extracts the day of the month from a complete date. Syntax is day is equal to day then value. Formatting normally the result will be a number, but this can be formatted to show the actual day of the week by using the format cells number custom and using the code as this. The day function has been used to calculate the name of the day for your birthday. Please enter your date of birth in format of this. So here I can use this function day. I was born on I was born on Wednesday on this 25th of March month. So this is how it shows. The formatting has to be this. So that was all for Excel dates. Hope this was informative. Thank you for watching the video.